Panda, 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 panda. I got broads in Atlanta, just at the lean, the family. Credit cards in the scammers, hitting the licks in the van. Legacies, family, wait and see, look like a panda. Going out like
on our Ford scoreboard, it's 2-1 Toronto in the top of the 7th inning, and joining us is Jack Curry. Jack was on earlier, and Jack, I just want to get your thoughts on about Gerrit Cole and what he had to say.
Right, I listened to you guys give your evaluation. Aaron Boone talked about him. Outside the clubhouse, Cole talked about his own performance and said some of the things that you guys had already discussed. He really liked the way all of his pitches were performing today. A lot of swings and misses. You talked about the 4-seamer, you talked about the 2-seamer, but I also asked about his changeup. I said, was it your intention to work that changeup in more today? And he said absolutely, that he and Kyle Higashioka had that discussion before the game. They didn't see a lot of opportunities in the last start, which obviously didn't go the way he wanted to, allowing 4 home runs to use that changeup. So we saw him flash that a couple of times today.
You know, you mentioned the 4 home runs. From what I understand, twice he gave up home runs on back-to-back pitches. Ground ball is short for Gleyber Torres, and Cantwell is thrown out number 1 here in the 7th inning.
I asked Aaron Boone about that before the game, and he actually said to me it was 2 home runs. It was only 2, so 2 of them I think he felt had a little bit of help with the wind, but yeah. It went down as 4, and even in a spring training game, if you're Gerrit Cole, that's not something you want to see happen. He was definitely pleased, guys, today with the fact that he got up to 55 pitches, was able to get up and get down. It was interesting. Do a little plug here. We've got a show coming out with Gerrit Cole, David Cohn, and myself. It's going to be on the 22nd. But off camera, listening to the 2 of them talk, Coney said to him, the pitch count doesn't matter, right, Gerrit? It's how many times you have to get up and down. So they were talking about, yeah, the pitch count's important, but getting up and getting down after each inning is something that's vital.
Now, the 22nd, we have a game, and I'm doing it. So it's probably going to come on after the game as this ball is hit in the air to right center field. It's going to be Zach Zahner, the right fielder, who makes the catch for out number 2. So I hope they replay that so I can see it when I get back north.
I hope they do too, Kenny, and I think they'll replay it a lot.
So in other words, you're like moonlighting. You got star shows and stuff out there now. Right?
I spoke to Gerrit Cole at the beginning of spring training. I love his pitching mind.
Right.
And I know he's a fan of David Cohn's, and I said to him, would you sit down with me and Cohn and just talk pitching? And he was very into it. So we taped it last week, and it was great to just watch the 2 of them, or listen to the 2 of them.
It's a nice long inning you had, Jack. Thank you.
Stay with us, Jack. Don't go anywhere. A 1-2. Was that a fair ball? Now, wait a minute. Reggie Pruitt is coming back to the home plate area. Now, originally, the home plate umpire, DJ Rayburn, said it was a fair ball. But I think the ball might have hit him in the foot.
Hit him in the box.
Yeah, okay.
All right, Jack.
Jack, keep going.
Full fire. Use some more bullets.
Yeah, it looks like it did hit him. Meanwhile, Montgomery's been pitching very well. That pitch is upstairs for a ball. Now, Giancarlo Stanton?
Stanton also came out in this new world that we have, spoke outside the clubhouse, and said that he thinks he's going to get out on a field and run tomorrow. So that's a positive sign right there. He's already been hitting indoors, trying to bounce back from that calf injury. He would not give a timetable. He said he's not going to say when he thinks he might get back in a game, but it was positive news from a Yankee perspective to hear that there's a good chance that he's going to be on a field running tomorrow.
So I read he's been doing some tee and toss and now starting to take BP?
Yes, inside a cage. He was, in fact, working out today. His interview kept getting pushed back because Jason Zillow, the media relations director, every time he was checking on Stanton, he was in there working out. He was in there trying to get himself ready. So as the Yankees move closer to opening day, they'd like to be as whole as they possibly can be. So guys like Stanton, Sanchez, Judge, waiting to see what the future holds for them.
Now, do any of the players have thoughts on this new situation that we have with interviews and how they're going to be conducted?
They do, Kenny. Gerrit Cole addressed it and said that, I'll tell you what he said next inning.
Was Jack Curry remaining with us? And where were we, Jack? Just pick it up right where
Gerrit Cole's reaction to the new MLB directive about the clubhouse being closed to non-essential personnel. Cole very eloquently stated, listen, with what is going on in the world today and teams trying to be and leagues trying to be as careful as possible, he wasn't surprised to hear that this had come about. He said personally he's been washing his hands as often as he can, trying not to touch his face, and knows that because of this situation, players are going to have to be more accommodating in terms of coming out of the clubhouse to do interviews for the media side of things. Giancarlo Stanton said the same thing. He said it's on us to be able to deliver our message to the fans, and so we'll have to make sure that we come out of the clubhouse and do these interviews.
Well, it sounds like the players are going to be accommodating it. If you have players, especially the star players on teams that are willing to do it, that means the other guys are going to follow.
Right, it's a different world for everyone, and everyone's getting acclimated to it. Interesting question Kenny was asked to Zach Britton, because he was obviously a member of the Baltimore Orioles when they once played a game at Camden Yards to an empty stadium because of the riots that had occurred in Baltimore. And he was asked what that was like and if he thought something like that could occur in the future. He said he wasn't sure about the possibility that it could occur in the future, but he did say that it was very eerie and strange to play in a ballpark of that size and for it to be empty.
Well, you know, we hope it doesn't get to that point as his pitch is fouled off.